I have found the Coug fans. Can I get a go Cougs? They are ready for this game between the Cougars and the Cyclones, and so are we. What a game it should be. WSU looking for that program best 11th win. I think you summed it up perfectly there. Just too much, too big, too good at shooting. Who expected that? I mean, we knew that Stanford going in was the bigger team, and they did that. They out-rebounded GU by 15, but the shooting is what surprised everybody in this building.
There was a key player missing for GU a year ago.
Yeah, we're not too far from Hollywood here, and people say that sequels aren't as good. I think this one might be better than what we saw a year ago because Killian Tilly, this junior big man from France.
Bro, I really can't wait. And this popcorn is really good, by the way.
Popcorn guy, huh?
Yeah.
Take it, you know?
Popcorn, a little milk dud in there every now and then. But
okay.
You can't do it right now. But,
so do you mix them, or do you?
Oh yeah, mix it in there. Popcorn's hot. Let it melt in there. Get a little chocolate on there.
Okay.
A little chew too. A little chew to it.
But right now we're hanging out in the right field, out in the kids zone here at the batting cage. We got a bunch of kids lined up, ready to go and take some cuts at this thing. They're trying to get loose and stay warm in this wet weather. We have Harrison and Paige here running the show, and Harrison's gonna give me a couple pitches here. Hopefully there's some meatballs so I can hit him out of the park. We're gonna see how this whole thing goes. So all right, Harrison, I'm ready for the cheese, buddy. Alexa Falk Johns, Luke Falk's sister, goes by Alexa Shea. Country music artist. We were joking actually off camera that you might be more famous than Luke is in some parts of the country, but here I guess it's all about Luke Falk, who they call the Messiah of the Palouse.
It's all about Luke here. In fact, I don't have a name anymore. I'm Luke's sister when I come to town.
This game really exemplified what the season was for the 2018 Washington State Cougars. It really goes back before they were even playing on the field. Anton Watson, check this out, gets the steal, and it says, bap, curl cross, and look at this yams. Would you like some yams with that stuffing? Little League Day at the park. Kids, do not eat the plastic. What's going on?
Choke hazard.
Jeez. Get your money, man. All right, let's switch gears to college hoops and talk a little Gonzaga.
Yeah, they're not getting money there, right? At least not yet.
We hope not. Two in-state rivals going down to the wire, but it was the guy from 5,000 miles away, Rui Hachimura, who went 9 of 20 for the field. That 9th field goal, he hit it with 0.6 seconds left, giving Gonzaga the 81-79 victory over Washington. I'm Femi Abebefe alongside my partner Greg Hannon, and it's a battle for I-90 here inside the Johnson Sports Center here between the Cardinals and Sasquatch. Starting off with North Idaho in playoff contention so far this season. Kind of a streaking ball club coming off a loss to Big Bend recently. 1st and 10 Gonzaga prep, and there goes Connor Hallinan. Hallinan breaking through the Titan defense, switches fields. Connor Hallinan, the 15, the 10, spin move, touchdown, Gonzaga prep.
It's without any pressure, which Spokane was so good at in the first half.
Ramos uses his pace. Levine is in on goal now. Levine, 1v1. Levine finishes a hat trick for Jake Levine.
Live from the Pasanel Sports Studio, SWX on KHQ starts right now.
Since 2015, Washington State has been one of the best teams in the Pac-12. The Cougs have 20 conference wins under their belt, and this year they look poised to more than hold their own against their annual familiar foes. Cougars were in Corvallis earlier this evening to take on the Oregon State Beavers. Just 1 minute in, the Cougs already looking at 1st and goal. Gardner Minshew hits Renard Bell along the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Wazoo strikes first. Beavers set to punt deep in their own territory, but it's blocked by Kainoa Wilson, picked up by Tristan Blocked, who falls on it again for the special teams TD, 14-0 Cougs. It's now 14-7, 1st and goal for OSU. Jamar Jefferson spins over the goal line for the score. He had 4 TDs on the night. 14 all just a minute into the second quarter. Minshew, perfect protection, throws downfield to Tay Martin, who hauls in the 38-yard pass to put the Cougs ahead by 7. WSU now trailing by 3 near the end of the half. Minshew throws out to James Williams in the flat. Check out Booby do work. Touchdown Washington State. They lead 28-24 at the half. Wazoo would pull away in the second half, now at 49-30 with 3 minutes to play. Max Borghi guts the Beaver defense one final time to tack on another touchdown. Washington State pulls away from Oregon State 56-37. How about the day from Gardner Minshew? 30 of 40, 430 yards, 5 touchdowns, and no interceptions. The Cougs are now 5-1 at the midway point, and will now head into the bye week before they host Oregon in 2 weeks. Staying in the Pac-12, Huskies taking on UCLA, trying to get a win in Pasadena for the first time since 1995. Scoreless late in the first, Jake Browning throws it up to Aaron Fuller, who comes down with it, strolls in for the touchdown, 7-0 Dogs. Now 10-0 in the second. Second and goal for the Bruins. Dorian Thompson-Robinson throws a rope to Theo Howard to pull UCLA within 3. Less than a minute to play in the first half. UW with the ball in the red zone. Myles Gaskin takes it around the right side, dives for the pylon. Initially called a TD. Out at the 1 is what they called. Browning would score 2 plays later. Skip ahead to the fourth. 7-point Husky lead. Gaskin this time picks his way into the end zone for the TD. UW hangs on to beat UCLA 31-24. Well, back on the Inferno, the 5th-ranked Eastern Washington Eagles have left no doubt since the start of Big Sky play, beating their conference opponents by an average margin of 35. But today they were without Gage Gubrud, who was in a walking boot due to an undisclosed injury. Eagles up 7-0 midway through the first. Antoine Custer Jr. scores from 2 yards out to make it 14-0 Eastern Washington. Now 17-3 early in the second. The Thunderbirds have a bad snap. It finds its way into the end zone. JT Tiuli gets on top of it for a big fella touchdown. After a Southern Utah score, first play of the EWU drive, QB2 Eric Barrier stepping in for Gage Gubrud, and he avoids a few tacklers, shows off what he can do in the open field. Barrier takes it 85 yards to the house as Eastern beats Southern Utah 55-17. Let's get a look at some other games, including local teams. In the Battle of the Domes, Idaho could not stop the Idaho State attack, falling to the Bengals 62-28. Idaho State quarterback Tanner Gueller threw for 492 yards and 8 touchdowns. Wow. And in Northwest Conference play, number 24 Whitworth went on the road and defeated George Fox 38-14 to stay perfect on the season. All right, that does it for college football, but don't go away because it's one of those nights. 2 segments, y'all. Let's go. When we return, we're hitting the hardwood with Gonzaga basketball to talk all things craziness in the kennel. We're back in 2 minutes.
With the Super Bowl coming up, a man in Medical Lake has a lot more than just a rooting interest in Sunday's big game. Scott Christensen is one of a few local Rams fans for a variety of reasons. SWX's Femi Abebefe has the story.
For 42 years, the Pacific Northwest has been home to rabid Seahawks fans. But before their inception in 1976, football fans went Hollywood and chose the Los Angeles Rams as their alternative, which still holds true to this day.
I'll be a bandwagon jumper for those ex-Eagles, that's for sure.
It wasn't too bad because they were AFC back then. Now they're NFC and they're in our division, so that really makes it a little tougher.
Despite living in enemy territory, Scott Christensen has proudly repped the Los Angeles Rams since 1970 and has the Ram Cave to prove it.
I've been collecting memorabilia for quite a few years, and I'm going to take you on a tour of my man cave. Follow me. These things I find in thrift stores, antique malls, online eBay. Some of the stuff I had from when I was a kid and lost it. And then when eBay started up, I started finding things on there, and it's, kind of reminded me when I was growing up and brought back a lot of memories, and I just kept going, and it's kind of gotten out of control now.
But Scott isn't alone. Eastern Washington University Sports Information Director Dave Cook was a Rams fan as a kid, but switched allegiances to the Seattle Seahawks in the mid-70s. However, when the Rams drafted a pair of Eagles 2 years ago,
ball is loose, picked up, Ebucom returns it for the score.
Cook soared back to his roots.
Yeah, I'm back. That's where I started digging out the old stuff and then kicking myself for not keeping any more of it.
Whether the reason is personal,
my son took me over to Seattle when the Rams beat them in overtime, the Seahawks. That's my favorite moment, one of my favorite moments.
Or professional.
Probably the only thing I own that is the Rams from recent times was a hat my daughter got for me for Christmas, but he's got a little Cooper Cup autograph on there too.
It's hard to top the Ram Cave out in Medical Lake.
And I just thought the horn was just the coolest thing in their uniforms. And I saw Roman Gabriel throw a bomb to Jack Snow, that was it. I was hooked right there. Yeah, I just got this one. This is from the 1950s, and it's like brand new. That's a real nice pennant. Jack Snow signed this for me. I mailed it off to him and when they were in St. Louis.
But his love for the Rams extends past childhood hero Jack Snow.
This is Super Bowl 36 when the Patriots beat us. We were a 14-point favorite to win that game, and that was the start of Tom Brady's career and Belichick. So it's time for a little payback now.
And on Sundays, Scott is hoping to party like it's 1999.
It is caught by Dyson. Can he get in? No, he cannot.
We were screaming and jumping. Mike Jones made that tackle, the greatest tackle in the NFL history, you know, the last play of the game, and he stops Mike Dyson half-yard short of the goal line and wins the game. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
Thanks to eBay and other collectors' websites,
you just can't find these. I've seen 5 of them in 20 years, or since 1995 on eBay. That's it.
Scott has designed the ultimate Ram cave for any fan in the Inland Northwest. Femi Abebefe.
That's about it. I think you got me.
SWX.